TOT Media.
Okay, so we are now live with video and audio recording at the same time. Amazing stuff. Right now, showing video recording of a legal process checklist ChatGPT generated. That is a high enough quality for entrepreneur startup phase work. Depends on what industry you want to enter into and what sort of legal risks are involved and just how complex the legal landscape is of whatever you're trying to get into. But for a use case I'm testing for, a startup of a media brand, and whether that be written, audio, video, media, and entertainment, it's enough. And anything of that level or similar level of legal complexity and risk uh, would find the same thing, that it's enough. What this is on the screen right now is again, ChatGPT prompted and then produced comprehensive trademark process checklist to get a user to DIY the registration of a brand that they want through the USPTO, the official channels. And what this includes is the per my instructions, considerations, characteristics, and the components. It's probably redundant, that need to be evaluated, assessed, to be ultimately then selected from the total list, select whichever ones you want, and then include those in the drafted document and submit it through the USPTO for registration of whatever you want. That's the boiled down prompt I gave. It was some sort of the directions that I asked of ChatGPT, and it did a wonderful job. It now reached the conclusion here, right, of the video that was scrolling in the background that you can see right now. This is massive. This is one of the things that I saw and really believed strongly earlier on, maybe about a year ago or something like that, with my use cases in the past of having explored with ChatGPT, the amount you can learn, the amount of information you have access to. I felt that eventually you get to a point where you could, multiple entrepreneurial thinkers could get their ideas off the ground in at least a pilot stage and at least at pilot quality for very low cost, low risk tests and iteration, which means more creativity, more innovation, more low risk, low cost tests to boost production across the economy. But what's more exciting for individuals, for entrepreneurial thinkers, is you got to easy in on any game you want to play now. And that's scary for the big players because the barriers to entry, which is a huge aspect of business strategy and competition, is picking a field, an industry, a niche that has enough barriers to entry that you have these moats, they call them, so that you can protect your share of the market. That's scary for them because it's now they're more vulnerable, but it's exciting for little dogs, little guys, because we can enter in immediately. Uh, that was what I had believed strongly that was coming, and I thought it would perhaps need to come in some very dedicated form of modular. It's still scrolling, of modular AI models that had different roles, multiple that had different roles, or one platform with different modes: a legal mode, a finance guy mode, a, a operation strategy, and a business analytics, a business process, or business operations analyst mode, stuff like that, right? So the different areas of business that you would be running, your board of advisors, your C-suite, your executives, your managers, and then of course your administrative team. This stuff, you would have these specialized modes in a platform, or just entirely different platforms altogether based on their strengths and specialties. It's looking like, to say that it was coming a ways off, to say that that was a ways off is not, it was not right. It's looking like, at least based on this use case test here, you already have enough computing and processing power with these models to be a good attorney advisor, legal advisor. And for that matter, who knows what else it could do. I haven't tested anything out, but anybody can just give it a shot. Business strategy, yep, I've already used it in that capacity, and that's pretty, it's not that difficult of a thing to do, is think through business processes and strategies. So I always say maybe finance is more difficult for actual accounting and the finance processes of a business, to give that to AI to do whatever automated task it might do or something like that. I don't know about that, but to be able to guide somebody through a their own process, and to build their own process and checklists like I've done with this legal advice here, that is probably possible, so that they would at least know what to do and be able to run their own small business cleanly and efficiently without missing things that should be in their processes that could really hurt their balance sheet or their operations early on, because they don't know. So that's awesome stuff. Anyway, that's it.